Hi, I'm Kristen Clark, and I'm here today with Cara Nance in the construction zone. How you doing, Cara?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing, Kristen?
I am good. Normally we do Mondays. It's Tuesday today, so we're a little bit further into the week.
That's right. Gotta turn it up here. Yeah, no, I'm at my girlfriend's place, and she literally bought a barn and is reconstructing it so into a
Oh, how cool is
yeah,
that?
yeah, it's pretty cool. So we are in the what will eventually be probably a wood shop, but home for now. So yeah, it's cool.
Very
Versatility.
cool.
Yeah, I was thinking for our theme today, focus, how much there needs to be focus to really carry that project all the way through.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, we're here talking about energizing your career through strengths. And as Kara brought up, the theme today is focus. So let me give you the definition. So it's people who are especially talented in the focus theme can take direction, follow through, and make the corrections necessary to stay on track. They prioritize, then act.
Absolutely. And number 6 for you, is that correct?
Number 6 for me, and number
It's 21 for me. So I appreciate you and everybody else who has focus theme high to help keep my squirrelness on track because I definitely am the queen of tangents. So yes,
well, there are a lot of squirrels out there. So you know that. There's a lot of people to keep on track.
yes, yes. We appreciate your efforts. Absolutely. Yes. And yeah, and the image in the spirit of keeping us on track and focus with our direction, image I came up with is a map. So I appreciate the idea of being a compass, but really y'all are the maps, and the compass is the tool that we use with the map. So
Yeah, and I love that too, Kara, because I always find myself wanting to know what's the end goal. Where are we trying to get to? And even in my practice working with students, helping them to figure out a career path and a college major, it's actually part of my business spiel too, where I'm like, why are you going? What's your purpose? What are you trying to get to at the end? So it even comes up, in how I promote my business.
absolutely, absolutely. And if I may, even taking a step further, why are you going to college altogether? Not even why the major, but why are you going to college right now? What is the purpose that's going to be served on the other side of it? Yes. Yeah.
For sure, because we know, the funny stats on that, if I can, you know, jump in, is
Absolutely.
75% of students go to college. 39% of people have a college education or a piece of paper at the end of it. So you're right. It's like we've got to do that work beforehand. We got to know why we're going and what we're trying to get accomplished to make it worthwhile.
Absolutely. Yes. And I'm just going to give a shout out to the construction zone that I'm in, our dire need for our skilled trades members of society. And just going to reinforce because I had the honor of helping out the Home Builders Association with their staff retreat yesterday here. So it's top of mind for me and top of heart right now that again deconstructing this idea that when we are working in a career in the skilled trades that means that we can't go get a college diploma. We can do both, and actually when we are have our certificates in the skilled trades, we can pay for our college education on our own rather than having our parents pay for it. So it's a
Right?
win-win. It's a win-win. I'm just saying, got the
It is a win-win. And I will tell you too, if you do any exploration in the trades, they're making good money these days. It's not college is not the only way to make good money.
very good money. I'm just going to throw it out there. A welder, especially oceanic welder, I think 6 figures within a couple of years.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
it's nuts.
it's a thing. It's a thing.
Okay, I'm going to pull us back in.
There you go. I
My
was going to say thank you,
to take
focus. Thank you,
over.
focus. Yeah,
But
yes.
I can talk about that all day.
I'm telling you, same. Awesome. Yeah. So ways it shows up. Uh, did you want
Yeah,
to say?
so I would tell you where I saw it really showing up, especially in the corporate environment, is everybody knows in corporate you have meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And sometimes, really most times, most of those meetings go off track fast just because you've got a lot of bodies in there. So, volunteering to set up the process for the meeting so that you have an agenda, you have this, you have a structured time frame to finish the meeting. Yeah. And also to make sure that you're staying on track. I think that is a way that people high in focus can help the team. And that really comes at every level. If you're walking in as a VP of the department, or you're walking in to a meeting as, manager, even as a coordinator, just starting out your role, having some of that focus in place, oh my gosh, it makes you just that much more efficient.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. It sets you apart for sure.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, it's again very fresh because yesterday the team that I was working with, one of their teammates had focus theme high and offered up that is the talent that they are tapping into when all the teams are giving all these wonderful ideas, and they're the ones saying like, let me filter that through real quick. Yes, helpful. No, respectfully, no, not right now. Maybe for another time, but not right now. And the efficiency that they're able to do that with it really is quite impressive to hear. So
I know, and
for today. So
Cara, I will tell you, a lot of times people high in focus, we come off as not so much fun sometimes because we're the ones going, okay, stop having fun. Let's keep moving. Let's get it done. We're here to get a job done. And by the way, we've got 10 minutes left on the clock. Let's go.
Right.
So we're kind of can be the Debbie Downers.
Yeah, and you were offering when we were chatting, we have a little prep session beforehand, something about introduce your theme before your, right?
Yes, I tell my clients this all the time, especially if they've got a talent that shows up, and sometimes like my focus isn't much fun, right, to really introduce your strengths before they introduce you. And, when people are having fun in a meeting and enjoying themselves and you have to reel it back in, just saying up front, just go, guys, we do have 10 minutes. We've got to get 3 more things done. I'm going to bring my focus forward. We got to get her done. Right. And it's just telling people where it's coming from. So it's not this, man, she's just,
being bossy or whatever.
Being bossy.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I love that offers a reinforcement. I'm just going to throw the plug out there to have a CliftonStrengths understanding of the universal language. Where are you even in this spectrum, right? What do you bring to the table? In order to know that, you got to take the assessment itself and have a moment to digest it. So then you're able to represent yourself with the intent that you mean for it to be, and that is focus in this moment.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, Cara, I think that's huge because, prior to me understanding where that was coming from and the getting antsy or frustrated myself, knowing that certain things had to get done, being able to understand it for me and know where it's coming from and be able to get it out there for other people so that they know I'm not being the cranky, lady, the get it done lady. It serves a purpose. Right. And I'm bringing that forward to help everybody on the team. I mean, it changes the dynamic.
100%. Yeah. Yep. And we were talking about how when you're able to do that, still, if you're mindful to think, hey, just so you know, this is my focus strength coming in. And also to be mindful that a moment like that, a lot of deposits need to be put into that relationship piggy bank in order to make a withdrawal like that. Because that's when you're being that directive for some, if it's misconstrued, it's like, ooh, eek, it can feel nice.
You're right. You're right. You do have to put some time in, letting people know where your heart is and that, you are the team player and all that good stuff before you can allow some of those strengths to really just happen.
Right. Right.
And that's kind of why I like to introduce it first. So again, it is kind of helping to build that piggy bank a little bit and know that you're in it for the team. But that doesn't negate having to put some of those chips into the basket before those meetings.
Right. And I was just thinking, for our friends out there who are like, well, what does that even look like putting in, building up a relationship like that? It really could be as simply as just having the conversation. So again, reinforcement, take that CliftonStrengths assessment, know what you're bringing, and then have that conversation with your team and say, hey, This is what came up for me. This is what, what I identify with. How about you? Right. And that's where we as certified coaches can really help you out, because we can help facilitate that conversation. But even if you're just at that starting point where you're like, I don't know if I'm there yet, have that round table coffee, tea discussion of just like, all right, well, what do you bring? What do you, oh, I actually totally see that in you. That makes a lot of sense. So that you've got that, and those moments are the deposits into the relationship.
They are. And I always was a big fan of meetings before my meetings, and walking around and saying, hey, what are you trying to get out of this meeting? Let me make sure that gets brought up. And, that focus is part of that as well. It's like, let me honor you by making sure that we cover what you need covered, and we stay focused in that meeting and, make those things happen.
I love that you said that, because the clients and my former colleagues who I know have focus theme high, that speaks to them to a T. So shout out to all of y'all. Yes, that it's the heart is really, yes, the heart is there for the efficiency. I know it's an executing thing, but it almost like shares part of the relationship building very much, where it's like, hey, we just want to make sure that that you are honored. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So when you're volunteering for work, tell me what your ideas are.
Yeah, I was thinking, if you're not a project lead already, or a team lead, some leadership role yet, volunteer for that opportunity, because this talent and potential strength that you have really is a gift in keeping the team on track and finishing with efficiency that project. How about you?
I'm going to jump on what you said, but I'm going to give the opposite piece of that. If you're not yet the team lead, volunteer for helping them stay on track with their meeting, because when you're leading a meeting, sometimes it's harder to know what time it is, know that everybody's been heard, know that we haven't gotten the last 3 items in and we've got 5 minutes left. So even volunteering to say, let me help you stay on track, and bring that strength forward for them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, shine your light, my friends. Shine your light.
Yes, and that's exactly why we do this, Cara, is we want everybody to have that ability to raise their hand and use those strengths, to get energized by them as many times as possible. So if you've got some thoughts on your focus and you'd like to throw those into the chat, we would love to have you do that. If you've got questions about focus, let us know.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking, say energy is what we're talking about, and more joy, which together is enjoy. We just want you to enjoy life. So bring the strengths in and make magic happen. We'll see you next week, friends.
Thanks, Cara.
Thank you.